All right, so I have a question to start today's episode with.
Go ahead.
So, say we rob someone, me, you, 2 other people, we get 50 grand, someone's murdered. Your cut comes, we're like, we only got 20, we gave you 5. Later, you're in an interrogation room. You're sitting there, Big Mac in hand. They're like, hey, you only got 5 grand. Total was 50. You telling?
My first question is, was Shumba there? And how much did he get?
Whoa. Was I there?
Was Shumba there?
Shumba could be there, and then I guess we'll have a 4th mystery person.
Okay, so 3 of y'all split 45 grand.
Yes, and
So
we gave you 5.
Y'all each took 3 times what I got, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm not going to snitch, but maybe I don't know, point an elbow in a certain direction.
Well, say this deal got sweetened and the other 3 people got life and you got 7 years.
I don't know, man. I mean, snitching is scary, but to be real, yeah, like if you guys had really fucked me like that, I would definitely contemplate it. And Big Macs and sodas and stuff like that, I don't know how I would feel.
You dyeing your hair rainbow is what it sounds like.
I would be mad as fuck if I didn't get my cut.
It's all right. So anyway, 6ix9ine, let's continue the story. So that's essentially what happened in this whole situation.
I'd rat y'all out. I'd rat y'all out right away. I'm sorry, I have to change it. I would rat y'all right the fuck out. You're right. I just need to be honest. Sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead with the story.
So essentially what happens is they see XXX at Riva Motorsports. They follow him around, get some masks, gloves, get ready to kind of like, I guess, plan a robbery. I don't know if they were planning on just taking his chain or whatever at first. I don't know what it is. But eventually they find out he goes to the bank and he's going back to the place to go buy a bike. Well, he goes back, he's leaving, they cut him off in an alleyway, park right in front of him, trap him there, go up on gunpoint. Something goes wrong, or maybe they just had a lapse in judgment, shoot him. We all know the story. He dies, and they drive away. Well, they decide, we don't like this fat fuck. We're going to give him 5 grand. And that's what they did. They gave him 5 grand, and he sold them up the river so fast.
Like, when you say sell up the river, because you bring up in the story that they bought the masks at the Riva Motorsports. When they were scoping out XXX, they bought the mask there on camera, and then it was on camera when they shot him. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think they kind of painted their own picture.
Yeah, but the testimony helped a lot. Otherwise, they wouldn't have cut him such a deal. And it's a bad situation, but ultimately, I mean, 2nd-degree murder. And he got 20 years probation, so he's pretty much screwed. He's going back.
Yeah, and if you're asking if justice got served, I'd have rather seen 4 life sentences for just straight-up murder, taking somebody's stuff, especially for something as blatant as that, just point blank, take someone's life for no reason. I'd rather see all of them, but if it took his testimony to secure it for 3 of them, I can see that. And though I agree with snitching, I'm halfway joking when I said I would do it, but who knows? But at the end of the day, if you ask the question, was justice served? I think it was served in the best possible capacity. And so I think it is fair. Like, is it fair that he's only going to get 7 years or do 2? No, but it's fair that the other 3 will get life. It's not a perfect scenario, but I think it's one that's fitting, especially when you see other things like with Pop Smoke, where his killers are looking at what?
About 7 years as well.
Yeah, I think this is a lot more fair than something like that.
Yeah, I definitely think Florida did a better job. And I mean, I think this guy should have gotten a little more time, but I guess they had to do what they had to do. There were pictures that released right after the murder, too, where everyone's flashing money. And apparently they didn't really buy too much with it, just some clothes, shoes, things of that nature. Nothing really valuable in the long term.
That's why I have to say it's not the perfect outcome. The perfect outcome would see all these shitbags go to prison, because this is a clear-cut murder case. But the justice system relies on absolute knowledge, and he provided that for him, obviously, for a reduction in time served. And it sucks that that's what it takes. But like you said, Florida does punish criminals justly the way they deserve. And like I've heard people say it before, and I'm not the biggest fan of the justice system, but it does work in certain aspects when applied correctly.
Yeah.
And I think when you compare it to other states, you can tell that Florida may be too harsh in certain aspects, but crime is lower, and they punish criminals forever if they feel that the crime is good and is heinous enough.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they took what was a superstar away from the world and, you know, whatever possible future music or things he might have had planned. But, I mean, that's how they'd serve justice, was 3 life sentences, and this guy got 7 years for snitching. So I kind of just wanted to ask the audience, like, what you guys thought on that. Would you guys tell, or would you stay solid and do life with the other 3? Let us know in the comments below. Also, would you throw your life away for some Jordans and, you know, a little flexing on Instagram? I don't know. That being said, I'm Rugburn.
I'm Pickled Landon.
And this is Tombstone Tourist.